Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to start this morning with a little crowd participation. I hope you're ready. I want everybody to raise their hand if they have a mama. All of you are here this morning, whether it was mama or daddy or grandmom or somebody else in your life played a vital role in you being here this morning. And I'm sure many of you are in the same boat as I am and completely and utterly overwhelmed and thankful for mothers and my mother. We're going to direct our attention this morning to two passages and three concepts from each of those passages. And first, we're looking at Psalm 127. And in this particular psalm, there's this concept of the house, the household, perhaps, is the overarching, a short psalm, overarching concept here. But within that is a passage that we are familiar with. And I believe that as we think about this idea of the household, there's this concept or idea of becoming a mother. And the blessings that are found here, the blessings that are associated with becoming a mother. And I know, and I do certainly want to be sensitive to that there are lots and lots of individuals who have always wanted to be a mother and have never been given that privilege. And it's because of passages like this that we understand the privilege, the honor that it is to become a mother. Let's look at a few of these ideas as we read this passage together. We're going to start in verse 3, and we're going to read through the end here. Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb, a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are the children of one's youth. Blessed is the man who fills his quiver with them. He shall not be put to shame when he speaks with his enemies in the gate. A short and powerful psalm that it paints a beautiful picture, doesn't it? About motherhood, about being a father, being a mother. And these ideas that we're talking about, don't you dare for 1 second tune me out if you're a grandparent, because man, do these matter extensively as a grandparent or a great grandparent or a great grandparent, whatever case you're in. Look at a few of these key words found here. Heritage. Children are a heritage from the Lord. I've told you before, and I'll remind you again, but as I left the house, as I got older and I would leave the house by myself, I guess I could drive. My parents, they would always tell me, all right, remember, maybe yours told you this too, remember who you are and whose you are, right? Who are you? Well, my last name's Riley, and you're a Christian. That's what they meant. Remember who you are and whose you are. That's the idea here in heritage. Children are your heritage. They carry on your name. Quite literally, they carry on your name. How many of you are named, again, a little crowd participation. How many of you are named after one of your ancestors? All right, 7 of us. Or the rest of you that refuse to raise your hand. Amos is the 5th generation of Earl, not this Earl, another Earl. 5 generations. We carry on the name of so many of our relatives. And that's part of this heritage that we're talking about. But I think even more important than that is this idea. It's a heritage from the Lord. If God isn't a key player in that heritage that you're passing on, then we're missing the boat. There's one word that keeps coming to my mind. Legacy. Children are our legacy. That's one of the great blessings of being a parent, is that children are our legacy. They carry on our name. A lot of times, and sometimes if you're one of my kids, it's unfortunate that you carry on some of your mannerisms and faults. But children need to carry on from the Lord. They need to carry on our values even more than our names, because of course it's from the Lord. Look at another key term here. Children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb, a reward. Children are a reward. And that's kind of a hard concept. And when we think about it, it's a hard concept to wrap our minds around. What does it mean to be a reward? What does it mean that your children are a reward? Well, we know what a reward is, right? You work really hard, and your boss says, after you fulfill this responsibility, then I'm going to give you a reward. I'm going to give you an extra day off, right? If you work 40 hours in the first 4 days of the, I'm going to give you that last day off. Or I'm going to give you a bonus, right? Or you're at school and you've been very good all day. And in fact, you got a lot of compliments. Well, your teacher rewards you at the end of the day with free time or extra recess or whatever it may be. A reward is something that you get in exchange for doing or being something. Children are our reward. And let's clear this up. It's a good thing. Rewards they're good things. Children are our reward. Well, to what extent are they our reward? What does that mean that they are our reward? There's a as you get married and you're without kids, a lot of people put off having kids, and they say something along these lines. Well, there's a lot of things that we want to do before we have kids. Or there's a lot of things that we want to establish before we have kids. There, listen, what you give up to have your kids, that's a reward. Your children are your reward for giving up something. If you've got kids, you've given up a lot. It may come in the form of money. You've given up a lot of money. Then kids grow like weeds. They eat everything that they can find. But your reward at the end of the day is something that you wouldn't trade for $1,000,000. It's that child. My grandfather, he still says, you got kids, you got nothing. And you know, that's true. Monetarily, you might not have very much because your children are your reward. But at the end of the day, you've got everything, don't you? Because they are your reward. You give up things, and you give up your time, your energy, you give up your goals sometimes. You give up, in fact, the rest of your life for this child. And the reward is a heritage from the Lord. It's this legacy that lives on beyond you, past you, perpetuates even into the next generation. Children are certainly a reward. And at the end of the day, It's not a reward you're going to give up. No sane person would do that. Look at another key idea here in Psalm 127. They are a heritage reward, and they're like arrows. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are the children of one's youth. Blessed is the man who fills his quiver with them. They're like arrows. I was joking around. This is terrible. This is terrible. This doesn't leave. We can delete this video afterwards. I was joking around this week. I was like, you know why they're like arrows? Because sometimes you just want to shoot one. That's not why they are like arrows. They're like arrows because when you have your children, when you are with your children, there is a certain amount of confidence that you have. It's like when this soldier going into battle, when he is equipped, fully equipped, he's got these arrows behind him in his quiver, and he's prepared. He's ready. And there's this idea, he shall not be put to shame when he speaks with his enemies in the gates. You know, when you are confronted, you've got your children, you've got something that no one in the world, no matter what the confrontation is, they can't take it away from you. The gate is where you go. That's where justice is served. And when your children are with you, when they are by your side and on your back, confidence. You have confidence. And again, the confidence that we have, this legacy, this heritage, it goes back to the very beginning because it comes from God. It's a reward from God. It's a heritage from the Lord. They are certainly our little blessings, aren't they? It's interesting to me in thinking about our children being arrows that in Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 16, we've got this panoply of God. We've got the whole armor of God, right? We've got everything that we have. In that context, we have a metaphor for how Satan attacks us. Verse 16 says that he has flaming darts that he shoots at us. And with the shield of faith, we're able to extinguish those flaming darts. I propose that we counteract Satan's little fiery darts with our bold arrows. Arrows, you don't go into battle with your arrows so that you can keep them, do you? And that's the hardest thing as a parent to wrestle with. Because we are at war with the ways of the world, the schemes of Satan, and we don't go into battle so that at the end of the day, we can count and make sure that all of our arrows are right here beside us. It's important for us to use those arrows effectively. And a lot of times that means get rid of them. Use those to extinguish, counteract the darts of Satan. This is a lot of the perks of being and becoming a mother. And it comes down to this idea that it is a blessing, and it is a blessing from God himself. What a wonderful God we have. What a wonderful responsibility we have.